During World War II, factories were built to produce a product that would help end the war. Today, those buildings, their contents and foundations, and potentially the soil beneath, are the raw materials for a new product, and a new factory has emerged. A waste factory.
We're in the business of making waste. Waste is our product.
At the East Tennessee Technology Park, or ETTP, the Department of Energy's Environmental Management Program, supported by its cleanup contractor UCOR, is responsible for the demolition of 6.5 million square feet of buildings and structures, once used to produce the nuclear fuel for weapons and reactors. Cleanup activities will result in about 21 million cubic feet of waste. That's enough to fill the Washington Monument about 20 times. More than 90% of ETTP cleanup waste will be disposed of on-site at the Oak Ridge Reservation's Environmental Management Waste Management Facility, or EMWMF. While the majority of the waste is shipped to the on-site facility, the waste accounts for only 15% of the total radioactive material. To illustrate, imagine the waste travels along a production line, where it's examined or characterized to determine the type and quantities of radioactive and chemical contamination left behind in equipment, piping, concrete, steel, and soil.
When the demo is done, you've got a pile of trash. Now, what are you going to do with it? Where's it going to go? You have to characterize it. We identify foot by foot each of the pipes. So in effect, we're producing an inventory of all the piping and components of all the processed gas systems.
Characterization involves sampling and analyzing the waste. Non-destructive assay, or NDA, is one method of analysis, providing an in-depth measurement and assessment of the waste to determine the amount of radioactivity present.
By non-destructive, it just means that we're not really changing the waste form. It's measuring neutrons or gamma rays that are being emitted from the waste, and it's different kinds of detectors depending on what it is you're looking for.
Based on characterization, distinct product lines or waste streams form. Now, waste specialists begin to match waste types with compatible treatment and disposal sites, a part of the waste profiling process.
When you get into the profile process, they take the data that was collected during the characterization program, the plan, and all that development, and then they evaluate that against the waste acceptance criteria of the disposal location.
The waste acceptance criteria determines that a waste is suitable for a particular treatment or disposal site. The paperwork must be meticulously prepared to describe the chemical, physical, and radiological attributes of the waste. The material is loaded into a container that is specifically designed for that type of waste. Documentation of the material and its packaging are included with each and every container.
We need to make sure that we're packaging the waste compliantly. So it's very important that we meet all the criteria all along the way for loading that one box of waste.
UCOR uses roughly 37 different container types to dispose of ETTP waste. As waste containers are typically buried with their contents, packaging is a very costly aspect of the disposal process. UCOR experts were challenged to find cost-effective options for off-site shipment of contaminated materials.
We were able to make reusable packaging where when it gets to the other burial facilities, they could open it up, take the waste contents out, bury it, and then send us back the packaging.
Like the other product lines, waste destined for on-site disposal at EMWMF adheres to rigorous standards to keep communities and the environment safe. The haul road between ETTP and the on-site disposal facility is a valuable asset to the waste process. It eliminates truck traffic on public highways, which reduces the risk to the general public, removes complex logistics requirements, and shortens travel time. just like manufacturers that track their products on the assembly line. Every truck transporting waste to the EMWMF has an identification number and weight programmed onto radio frequency identification devices, or RFIDs, located on the vehicle.
With 100+ truckloads a day, we still have to document what's in each truck so that all along the route we have what's called interrogators. And as the truck travels en route to the EMWMF, we have everything we need to know about the truck.
Driven by stringent standards, reinforced by reliable on-site disposal, and enhanced by worker innovations, ETTP's Waste Factory has safely and compliantly disposed of millions of cubic feet of ETTP cleanup waste to date.
At the end of the day, if your waste is not in compliance, or your equipment that you're using isn't calibrated, or the transportation part of it isn't working because you're not doing your documentation right, or you're shortcutting things, you're not going to ship waste very long.
We're taking a hazard and containerizing it, we're disposing of it, we're treating it in the way that it needs to be treated so that we are removing that hazard from the people and from the environment and creating an opportunity for economic growth here.